introduced to council by the Lord Mayor.
Okay.
Yes.
How was this introduction done?
The induction was done, if I vividly remember.
Yes.
If I vividly remember, I was called to the office of the mayor, and when I get there, I found the CEO, and then Mustafa Bachili, and then I found LS Camara. They are seated, and then during the discussion, the Lord Mayor said we will be needing his services for council's business once in a while. At that moment is when I triggered the discussion that in the rates, that's the rates, the compound rates in Banjul. At the time we have 17 million areas.
Okay.
And collectors are not bringing the revenue, and they've complained that getting landlords to honor our demand notes is a challenge for them. I said that we can employ the services of a legal mind person. I think once the letters are written to landowners and compound owners with the caption of a legal practitioner, they will act on it, and then we recovered substantial amounts on the rates.
How much was recovered?
The recovery, I tasked at the time the acting rates manager, Amindoi.
Yes.
I tasked her that all payments that are coming through the Dandemayo letterhead reminders should be tabulated, so that in the end we should be able to know explicitly how much their letters or their reminders have brought to council. But coming back to capacity issues in council, I mean, cannot use a computer. So to this day, we still owe Dandemayo whatever recoveries they have made from the rates areas.
You still owe them? Yes,
we still, because we were unable to establish their reminding their letter, the monies that were paid due to their legal backing or legal reminding letters. So we couldn't arrive at how much was the sum, so we couldn't pay.
What is the agreement?
Yeah, the agreement was I think 17% of whatever is recovered.
17?
Well, 17, yes.
Of whatever is recovered?
Whatever is recovered should be. Council will keep the 73% and they will keep the 17%.
You signed this agreement?
I don't know who signed it.
Was it signed?
Yes, it was signed. It was signed.
So there's an agreement document.
Yes,
for this.
Yes, between Dandemayo Chambers and Banjul City Council.
Do you know how the process to hire the services of a lawyer, or?
Yes, as I said, in a normal settings,
yes,
it should go through the dictates of the GPPA.
Yes.
And the need will be done. But
there should be a request for proposal.
Yes.
Because the 17% that you are charged for every recovery, you will definitely have. There is a high chance you'll have a much more reasonable amount, a much more lesser amount. Let me say. Someone can say 10. Someone can say 5.
Yes.
Is that not the case?
Yeah, that's a valid point. But looking at the struggles of Banjul City Council in even having a specialized.
No. The process.
Yes.
Even if you don't have a specialized procurement unit, for instance, and there was a procurement officer, I mean, the process, was this not known to you people at the time? The finance director, the CEO, and the mayor at the time that you needed to follow procurement regulations.
Yeah, that's a valid point. But in every institution, we all have our roles and responsibility
Yes.
clearly carved out. I will concur with you that
You will?
I will agree with you that I could give my advice, but again, on my plate, I have enough. Enough to do or enough to sort out, and the CEO's role is more of the oversight of the admin and everything that does with the line departments. And I think he should be better suited to do some of these things that should be ABC to him on his desk. We need a new retainer. What are the protocols to follow? So, but for me to go out of my TOR and then dictate to CEO that this is what's supposed to be done, I don't think that is in tandem. But in hindsight, my advice could, but I have always been rendering those advices.
So the Director of Finance, going by the local government financial manual, is the head of the finance department.
That's true.
And your functions are coordination and control of the accounting function of council, supervision of accounting staff, production of annual financial statement, interpretation of accounts, general supervision of the accounting functions, proper collection, recording, and custody of all revenues, examination of payment vouchers to ensure they have been properly authorized, that the allocations, rates, calculations, castings, and signatures of the recipients are accurate and are in order, and that the vouchers are properly filled. Did you advise the CEO that this particular payment to Dandemayo, or not even the payment, the hiring of Dandemayo and the subsequent payments are supposed to be accompanied with the necessary documents?
Yes, my role in council is not an advisor to the CEO.
On finance, you are?
Yeah, I'm a director of finance, but what was happening was a contractual obligation between Banjul City Council and Dandemayo.
You see the contract?
The contract, I will look at the archives and see whether I can lay hands on a copy.
You see the contract? You've seen the contract?
Yes, there's a contract.
Do you have the contract with you?
No, I don't have it with me.
Okay. Now, let me draw your attention to the special audit of Banjul City Council for the year 2021 and 2022. The date is 18th of September 2024. Have you seen this national audit report? The special audit?
Special audit? No, I haven't.
You haven't?
Yeah.
It has some findings for, it says finding 6, page 14, payment of 19% commission for revenue collection. It reads a contract agreement between the council represented by the Director of Finance, that is the client, and Dandemayo Chambers, represented by Lyman S. Camara, the solicitor. The purpose of the contract was stated as follows: that the solicitor have agreed to provide recovery of trade license owed to the client by traders within the council. That in the performance of such services by the solicitor, they shall be entitled to the sum of 19% of the recovered sum shall be paid by the client to the solicitor. As per our review of the contract agreement, payment vouchers, and the legal file, we noted the following: that the council made a one-off payment to the solicitor an amount of $1,140,000, described as being 19% commission on the recovery of $6 million street license fees from NAWEC. There was no evidence of service done by the solicitor presented to us regarding the payment of commission above. That's B. C. This payment was not budgeted for in 2021. D. The duration of the contract was not stipulated as per the agreement. E. Errors such as the numbering of the elements of the agreement. F. Details of the witness for one of the parties was not captured as at the date of the year of signed, sealed, and delivered. G. We noted during the period the council had retained a different legal firm for their legal services. To start with,
Yes.
the first one, you signed the contract as Director of Finance.
Yes.
Why?
I was told to sign because by the CEO, and then if you look at the period under consideration, 2001. If you look at the period under consideration, 2001 to 2002.
Yes.
All memos emanating from the finance department, and even some admin letters.
Yes.
I have signed for the CEO because when I joined them, I found out there were a lot of capacity gaps in our letters.
Why did you sign for the CEO?
Yeah, I was mandated to sign for the CEO.
Mandated?
Yes.
By?
I was asked to sign for the CEO.
By?
By the Lord Mayor and the CEO.
Why did the CEO not sign this contract?
Why didn't he?
Not sign the contract?
Yeah, because like all these instruments, all these memos that we sent out, all these letters that we sent out from Banjul City Council, most of them I signed for him. I will
But
draft.
You're not the assistant to the CEO.
I am not the assistant to the CEO.
Yes.
Yes, but if you look at the governing instrument,
Right.
the Local Government Act,
Right.
and the Finance and Audit Act,
Right.
where the CEO is not on seat,
Right.
the Director of Finance can step in
No.
and
Director of Admin. The Director of Administration, not the Director of Finance.
yes.
Unless you have some of these instruments that clearly mention the Director of
Yeah.
Finance. I cannot recall the Director of Finance mentioned. It's the Director of Administration.
No, there is somewhere in the manuals that I came across those TORs. But again, since I joined council, most of the letters that we write from finance, I always draft it, take it to him, and he will send me to sign.
Yes, you can sign letters from finance department.
Yes.
I'm just saying the contracts, the
Yes.
person that binds the council is the chief executive officer. In his absence, the Director of Administration.
Yes.
Your signature for the in relation to accounts is to be a check and balance to the rights and powers of the chief executive officer. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You are not supposed to be all the time in agreement, even when things are wrong. You are supposed to have another lens to look at things and say, well, I don't think it's
because
fine.
I think while I signed it, or why I was asked to sign it, because it has something to do directly with me, and then
No, it has something to do directly with council.
No, it has directly to do with me because it was a finance related.
No,
finance related
contracts
issue.
are contracts.
Yes.
So all contracts are just treated as contracts, are supposed to be to bind the area council, and just don't look at it individually based on your portfolio as that.
Yeah, because if you look at all the contracts that we signed during my time, I've always witnessed most of them.
Right.
Yes, and this one, when we were introduced to the
Now that's okay.
Yeah,
you
yes.
had said that you were introduced
yes,
by the Lord Mayor.
yeah, by the Lord Mayor.
Right?
Yes, yes, please.
And the CEO was present.
Yes, please.
And they asked you to sign.
Yes.
Okay, I think that had been heard by the commissioners. Now, you paid the 19%.
Yes.
Who negotiated the 19%?
In that same forum that we had in Mayor's office.
That was where it was negotiated.
That was where it was negotiated.
How
yes.
was it negotiated?
Yeah, we said we had this payment from NAWEC, but it's not coming. And we have consulted, we've met them, we've done everything administrative
No,
right.
19% as per the contract. How did you arrive at the 19%?
Yes, because we said what we wanted them to do.
Okay.
Is to go,
which was?
To go after our debts that we are not able to recover.
Your debts?
Yeah, debts and areas. Debts and areas that we couldn't recover.
Yes.
And then there, we went into, Dandemayo said they will be able to recover it at some percentage.
What is some percentage?
I think at first they said they can do it at 22%.
Okay.
Then there was give and take.
Negotiation.
Negotiated
between?
Four of us that were present.
Okay.
Yes, until we arrive at the 19%.
How did you arrive at the 19%?
Yeah, because from 22%.
Who suggested 19%? You, the mayor, the CEO?
No, this was Dandemayo. Because when he asked that we pay 22%, we said, no, that's on the high side.
Was 19% a fair deal?
Yes, looking at why we are not able, or
is 90%
our
a fair deal?
Inability to collect the debts.
So 90% is a fair deal?
Yes.
It's a fair percentage in the market? That's the best you can have from all the lawyers or law offices that can be could have been retained for the service.
No, when you go into the markets, you can even get 8%. You can even get 8%. But depending, you can even get 8%. 8%, 11%, 5%.
You can even have 3.
Yes.
You can even have 3.
Exactly. But again, it depends on what you're getting.
What do you mean what you're getting?
Yeah, because law firms and legal practitioners do not have standardized tariff.
How do you know this?
I am also a member of the public, and at least
You're a member of?
I am also a member of the public.
Okay.
And I also talk with lawyers. I have lawyer friends.
Yes.
Yes, and then again, I am in management at a level that I am also privy to certain information.
Right.
Yes.
So you believe there are different standards of lawyers?
Yes.
With different prices?
Yes.
And what are these different standards? Do you know?
The standards based on we don't have an almanac here to rank the best lawyers and the worst performing lawyers. But again, if there was an almanac where you can open to see which lawyers are trending, meaning which lawyers are winning their cases 8 out of 10. So though they might ask for more than the lawyer that wins one case in every 3 years. So, but these things we don't have the data.
Look, see, this is a perception, and the public will have the right to have a perception.
Yes.
They do not know. Even the lawyer who has he was most famous lawyer may not necessarily win the most cases.
Yes.
You get the point? So that's not how it works in real life. That's why you have to follow procedure. The procedure says get the request for proposal. They will send you their proposal.
Good.
You can do your market surveys. Of course, there are lawyers who have outstanding reputation in private practice. Of course, you can look at what you want, considering as well the amount of money you are paying. You should know how much they should charge, the percentage range as to what is acceptable. It is a profession that is governed by necessary laws and regulations. You understand that?
Yep.
And even if the perception is that there are category of lawyers, of course, and there are 3 or 4 or 5 exceptionally good lawyers, among those 5, 6, 7, 8 lawyers, you can have the best price.
I concur. But
you can have the best price. So what you guys did in effect was not to go for the best, because you can't even decide who the best is. You guys paid 19% of taxpayers' money without doing market survey, without inviting proposals. And so therefore you probably would have paid far more than what you were supposed to pay. Flouting the rules, this is what it does. And number 2, do you even know whether the mayor or the CEO, they have an interest in that. Did you think about that? That is going by your evidence that you were introduced.
Yeah.
I'm now going by your evidence that you were introduced by these two. Do you know whether they have a stake in this? Whether they have an interest in this?
No, I wouldn't know.
You have no idea what the interest can be.
Yes.
You will know whether there is a relation between Dande Mayo and the mayor or the CEO.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
That is why you follow
Procedure. Yes.
But, Mr. Camara, you are highly educated.
Yes.
This was an error because you knew this.
Yeah. It's an error, but for me, why I just clicked, because this money was there. Like now again. If you look at the areas of council, are huge, and again, we must do something like getting lawyers and getting consultants to unlock these monies, because they've been there for ages, uncollected, not collected, not
$6 million,
yes.
right?
Yes.
If you have 5%, if anyone charge you 5%, you would have been paying $300,000. If you subtract that from 1,140,000, you'd have saved $840,000. Do you imagine what this can do in Banjul?
A lot.
That is the importance of following procedure.
Yes.
Value for money. Saving as much as you can whilst getting the same result, and you can use this money to other investments, other potential investment that can really impact the lives of people, for the people that you serve. Do you guys think about these things?
Of course, yes.
You don't.
No, we do.
No, you don't.
Of course we do.
No, you don't.
We do.
If you had thought about this, you guys would not have done this in this way.
Yeah, but legal council.
I mean, that's the reality.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, management is not an exact science.
What does that mean?
Yeah, management. You are there, and you are confronted with a hefty debt burden that you can't collect. And then you sit there, and they said there is somebody giving remedies or giving injection to cure your disease.
Yes.
Yeah, you just said, let's go.
Somebody is not the only one who can solve this problem, and that is a fact.
Yes.
That somebody will tell you he is not the only one who can solve this problem. And there is no somebody in that profession who will tell you they are the only person that can solve this problem. That is a fact.
I concur.
Do you understand?
Yes.
That is a fact.
Yes.
I don't speak any less of any person. In fact, I have the highest respect for people in their profession. That's the reality.
Yes.
That's the reality. But the truth is the truth. Yeah. You ask them, they will tell you, I'm the only person who can do this. They can name you 10 people that can do an equal job, even a better job. Nobody has monopoly of knowledge.
That's true.
So you cannot flout the rules, and I have just given you a simple arithmetic where you can save hundreds of thousands of dollars, because there are lawyers out there who will charge 5%, who will charge 7, 8, 9, who will charge 3%.
Noted.
But if you pay me 20%, I will take it. Why wouldn't I take it? I am offering a service, and I give you my fees. And if you don't follow procedure, and when you knew you should follow procedure, that's the issue.
Yep.
But what work was done? Was this recovered?
Yes, it was recovered. Yes.
The audit report says they don't see evidence of that.
It was recovered.
How do we know? What work did Dande Mayo do?
They recovered.
How did they recover the $6 million?
I'm not a lawyer to tell you how.
Whether there was a letter that was sent and then payment was done immediately, or it had to result to a court a legal suit against NAWEC for NAWEC to pay, because you were saying that it was difficult to recover this amount.
Yes.
So how was it recovered?
Yeah, how was it recovered? Dande Mayo should be able to speak for themselves. I'm not a lawyer.
You see, Mr. Camara.
Yes.
you are giving someone a job to do.
Yes.
You should be in a position to know whether they have done their job or not. What was agreed before they ask for payment, they should present to you the work that was done. Agreed?
They should present the work they have done to
yes,
me.
to you, the finance director. You should see, before you sign off for any payment of 1.2 million, you should know the work that there was done that they're asking for payment for.
Yeah, if I give you the work and the results are delivered, for me, it's mission accomplished. And I told you in the beginning that the other works on the rates.
Let's limit ourselves to the 6 million first.
Yes.
Was the work done by the?
Yeah, it was done because
we were
able to recover the money.
Not we. You did not recover the money.
Yes.
It was recovered for you.
Yes.
So the person that recovered the money or the law office.
Yes.
What work did they do?
I'm not a legal person.
You don't have to be a lawyer
to tell you what they did. And I think the best is allow them. They are in the jurisdiction of this country. Allow them to explain to you how they were able to recover this money from us.
See, Mr. Camara, don't do that. You're the finance director.
I am.
How do you make payments? You want us to? We can visit the financial manual as to how payments should be done.
Yes.
The authority for expenditure, how it should be done, how all payments should be done. The role of the finance department, the finance director in signing off on payments.
Yes.
Tell me.
Yes, for me.
So if someone send a request that they are owed $1 million, do you just pay?
No.
What do you look for?
They'll send the invoice and we'll pass through the normal process of.
Invoice should be accompanied by?
By the work that invoice should be.
Evidence of execution of?
The work that they've done.
Yes. There has to be evidence of that. The council purchased 10 dustbins. The supplier sent the invoice to say you are to pay for $1 million for 10 dustbins. What do you look for?
Yeah, you look for the details, the quantity.
Increase your
you look for the details. You look for the quantity. Look for the price. Look for the delivery note. And everything in tandem.
Delivery note, contract, and delivery note.
Yes.
The contract will guide you to know whether, in fact, what they are asking for is what they should be paid.
And the specifications and everything.
The delivery note will. No, once they are delivered, it is accepted, even if it is a wrong delivery. If you may not have been in the person receiving. So I gave you that.
Yes.
But once you see the delivery note, you have confirmed that there was delivery. Is that not the case? There was delivery. There was a contract. This is the exact amount. You will not overpay because you want to know the exact amount. What was agreed? What which services were delivered? And then you pay in accordance with that. That's what we call supporting documents. Is that not the case?
That's true.
So what were the supporting documents before you paid 1.2 million?
Yeah, because I think with the lawyers, they were right as they have done.
1,040,000. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
What I can vividly remember with the other debts that they've chased, they've written to the debt.
Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
they've written to NAWEC,
right,
and copied council,
right,
that they are owing us so much,
right,
6 million,
right,
for A, B, and Z,
right,
and then they are acting as our legal retainers,
right,
to get this money paid to Banjul City Council.
Yes. So they wrote a letter to NAWEC.
Yes.
And the NAWEC paid.
Yes.
It didn't result to any court.
No, we didn't go to court.
And do you have a copy of the letter that was written?
I only have to search my.
Did you see the letter?
Pardon?
Did you see the letter?
I should.
No. When you were making payment with the CEO, did you guys see the letter that was written to NAWEC?
Yes, because when letters come, they don't come to me directly.
No, see, Mr. Camara.
Yes.
Mr. Camara, it's very easy. We call NAWEC, they will tell us how, whether they have received a letter from Dandemaya or not. You, when a letter is sent, you will be given a copy so that you see, and then you should be able to have a file for all of this.
Yes.
You will know the work that was done.
Yes.
If work was done, the auditors would have seen it. Now the issue is
they
are saying no.
Yes, with the auditors in an ideal world, and what auditing should partake, I should have been able to look at.
I know what you are saying. Let's not go there.
Yes.
Did you see the letter?
I cannot remember.
Because you did not see the letter.
I cannot remember.
And the fact is, there was no letter.
Don't just sweep it away like that.
My job
yes.
is to test your evidence.
Yes.
Your job
but what I'm saying is I cannot remember. I cannot remember, but I can go back to the archives and look whether I can lay hands on a copy of the letter.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So we will. If you have these letters, where would you usually keep them? There will be a file.
Yes, but for most letters, I will always keep a copy for myself.
For yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes the records activities are not reliable.
I can hear you. Right?
Yeah, I said sometimes the records department are not reliable to give you letters that have.
Are there other recoveries that were done by the Nemayo Chambers?
Pardon?
Well, are there other recoveries that were done by the Nemayo Chambers?
Yeah, there were. There were a lot of recoveries that were done by the Nemayo Chambers. That's where I started. I told you with the rates, but up to this day we've not been able to reconcile, so we didn't still pay them.
You see, the idea of we still need to pay them is not why we're here. If they need to get paid, they know what to do. More than anybody else, the lawyers know what to do to get paid. So that's not why we are here. Why we are here is the procedure that was followed. You understand that?
That's true.
The manner in which these lawyers were contracted. That's the most important thing here.
Yes.
What was the percentage agreed with Ususu Chambers, Sasasum Silla?
I have no clue.
You have never seen that?
No.
Did you not tell them there is a lawyer already that council had already retained?
They are my bosses, and then I was the newest person to join management, and the
Do
things
you know
that
whether the percentage was much more lesser than what the Nemayo were accepted?
I don't know the terms and conditions.
So this entire process was just really devoid of adherence to regulation.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Any questions before I proceed on this? Now, that's the only lawyer that was retained?
Yes, as far as you're concerned. As far as I know, it's only Dan De Mayo and Osusu Chambers that does work for Banjul City Council.
Okay. This is your period?
Yes, 2021, 2022.
The attestation, were you there?
Yes.
Who was the lawyer representing?
I didn't know.
You didn't take part?
No.
You didn't pay any lawyer for the attestation?
I think we paid.
You were the director of finance?
Yes, we paid.
So who?
Attestation,
Sasum Silla?
Yes, that's why I said the attestation I was there, but I didn't pick paying any new law firm or lawyer.
Okay.
Yes.
Personal loans and salary advances. What was the arrangement for personal loans and salary advances?
Arrangement in the sense?
As in, was there a guideline for? You have already talked about the personal loans.
Yes, we did.
The salary advances are a little bit different.
Yes.
These are not really loan in this sense.
Yes.
What was the arrangement for salary advances?
There were no arrangements. It's just that mid-month people will come for problems to sort out family issues or buy a bag of rice and stuff like that. So,
who was your acting accounts senior accounts clerk?
No, acting finance manager.
No, accounts clerk.
Accounts clerk.
When you were there, yes.
Yes. When I went there was no accounts clerk.
But you had no accounts clerk.
No, when I went there was no accounts clerk. But when I came in, I found a gentleman who was there on attachment called Keba Jeng, and we later absorbed him as an accounts clerk.
Were you doing waivers for salary advance? Those who were granted approved for their salary advances, and then they could not pay the subsequent months, and then therefore they were waived for a given month. The deductions.
Waiver, I will not grant any waiver if it is not in black and white. If
So
anybody wants,
if it is in black and white,
yeah, if anybody wants a waive, I will put my comments, take it to the CEO, get approval, and then pass it to payroll
is that advisable to give a waiver?
No, it's not. But in extraordinary circumstances, you can give a waiver. For instance, I think I bumped into a document last night when the Tobaski month. I will always write to the CEO that we are in a festive period. Can you grant a waiver, meaning non-deduction of all loans for this particular month to observe Christmas or Tobaski?
But they know that Christmas or Tobaski is coming. And
Yes.
that's for the loan.
Yes.
Or for the advances.
Yes.
So why would you waive that?
Yeah, but what is wrong in waiving it?
What is?
What is wrong in waiving it?
I asked you. You said you don't think it's
Yes.
in line.
Yes, but because with the people that we are, our background as Muslims and Christians, we have a Tobaski coming. And again, we wrote on behalf of everybody, we are putting a waiver. We are applying for a non-deduction of loans for all staff for this month. And if approval is granted, we implement it.
Mr. Camara, see, this is the problem.
Yes.
Again, you want to change the system. You want to make your effort, your own bit to change the system.
Mm-hmm.
You can't change the system by flouting the rules. Over and over again. You can't change the system by flouting the rules. You have your strict accounting policies to follow. The manual says you must strictly follow the manual. Salary advances, loans, these have been provided for with guidelines, of course, yes, by law. That's nothing like waiver. When government gives 1/6, they don't waive anything.
Yes,
When
but
it's time to deduct, they deduct you.
yeah, but in the
When you go to the bank and you take a loan, and it's time to deduct, they deduct you. So we don't run our institutions with the idea that we are Christians and we are Muslims. That cannot be an excuse.
yes, but in the same vein, and with your support and help, and you are the legal mind, the same manual and the same act is telling you area councils are autonomous in their financial dealings. Can you break that down for me? And whether what we have done does not suit into that?
No, Mr. Camara, we are not here to break it down anything for you. We are here to assume that you know your job.
I do.
Yeah, no, I am not denying that. I don't
Again.
doubt. I don't question that. You are here to
Yes.
answer questions.
Yes.
To know what your job is.
Yes.
And to execute your job.
Yes.
Your functions.
Yes.
Where you did not execute your functions, then we ask you questions. We want to know why. But the law says you have to follow the law. If you don't like a bit of the law, any bit of it,
That's true.
you know what
That's
you
true.
are a citizen like
Yeah, that's
all
true.
of us.
That's true.
So that question would not be relevant for this discussion.
Yes.
You
But
understand
again,
the point? The idea is you have the manual. It says payments should be done like this. Loans can be granted. Advances, salary advances. What it does not provide for, when it comes to money, you cannot use your discretion to grant because it is not allowed.
yes.
That's supposed to be very simple.
That's true, but a point to note is, I told you, if there is a waiver, we do it across the board.
There is no provision for waiver.
Yes.
That's the idea. You're an accountant.
Yes.
You are highly trained in ACCA.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking
Yes,
about
yes.
more than I do.
Yes.
That there is no provision for that. And so let's not use religion to justify unlawful actions.
Yeah, and then moving forward,
Yes.
that's the spirit and the substance of an audit. If you audit me in 2021 and said this is not okay, and then that means I should work on it and then address it so that it does not.
Don't forget about what
yes.
someone else did not do. And we focus on what you should do and whether you knew that you should have done that or not. And by virtue of your level of education and your level of experience,
Yes.
you know
Yes.
that nothing like waiver exists.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fact. So you also contracted loans, right?
Yes, please.
How much?
It's about $1 million.
One time?
No.
How did it arrive to $1 million, $1,098,000? How did you have this loan?
If I get the spreadsheet, you can see the dates and when these loans were taken.
Do you have the spreadsheet with you?
No, I don't have the spreadsheet with me.
So it's different periods.
Yeah, different periods, yes.
But you don't exhaust one loan and you're giving another.
Yes, because like if you are constructing, once you take a loan and then you finish that tranche, then you ask for another one.
Then you finish that?
When you finish that disbursement,
Yes.
then you apply for another installment.
Are you not supposed to finish paying the loan before you're giving another one?
Yeah, depends on what type of loan it is.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, if it is a personal loan, you should
Yes.
finish paying the personal loan before
Yes.
you get another personal loan.
No. You had $1,098,000. Did you still finish paying that amount?
No,
Right.
the balance is about 675,000.
How much?
675,000.
And going by your deductions, how long will it take to?
Maybe 2 years.
When was the first loan you took from council?
The first loan I took in council was, I think, in January 2021.
Was that a personal loan?
Yes.
It's a personal loan.
That's a personal loan, yes.
All the loans you took were personal loans?
Yes, the description, they put personal loan, descriptions of all
Are
the
you
loans.
familiar
Yes.
with the loan advances, deposits, and investments column for the manual? In the manual?
Yes, I have read it. I've read it before.
You've read it before?
Yeah, I've read it before, yes.
Let me read to you what it says. It says loans 801 loans may be granted to employees for building construction, purchase of vehicle and personal needs in accordance with the terms and conditions set out in the general orders, right? Now, all requests for loans must be made on the prescribed application form and passed through the Director of Finance for verification and confirmation of availability of funds for such loans. B, subject to funds availability and the applicant meeting all the eligibility criteria, the application will be forwarded to the Chief Executive Officer for appropriate action. After approval, the finance staff will raise a payment voucher in the name of the applicant for the approved amount. Other payments process shall follow. Now, if you go to personal loan category, it says category of staff for employees on grade 1 and above. Length of service must have served the council or any other arm of government with transferable service for the 2 years or more. Were you working for government for 2 years when you applied for your first loan?
No.
No. Lent. Repayment period, loan is payable in 24 months. Was that the case?
Yes.
Security, the applicant will provide personal guarantor. You had one?
Yes.
Limitation: no employee can take a new personal loan while servicing an existing loan.
You
Was
got
this
it.
the case?
I got it wrong there.
You got it wrong there.
Yes.
Why? Why?
Yes, because if you look at the way we give these loans,
Yes.
they're not big. They're not big amounts. It's 75,000, 50,000, 90,000.
65,000.
Yeah.
The list goes on.
Yes.
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 And why is that important?
Why is it important?
Why is it important? Your point that the loan that we are taking were just 50,000, 7,000. Why is it important?
Because you hit a very important note there based on the availability of funds.
Okay.
And then you are not only a monopoly, you are not the only one taking loans.
Right.
Or the staff also have some pressing personal needs that they also need to get. So you will look at it and said you cannot give loans above 100,000 so that you'll be able to.
So what is your point? Your point is you are within a very reasonable.
Yeah, the point is like
you have a very reasonable amount figure.
Yes, something that at least can help you start something without again hurting council's cash flows.
So you are within a reasonable figure.
Yes.
I know it's difficult for you, Mr. Camara.
Yes.
You have done so much good for so many things in council in relation to trying to stop or fight against certain things. That is true based on your evidence as we go.
Yes.
And for the most part, it is commendable. But when it comes to your excuse for the amount,
yes,
it's not an excuse. The idea is that this $50,000 you were taking, for instance, 24th of March 2021, $50,000 is 12th of July 2021. You see, not a 1 year period.
yes,
$50,000 is.
yes,
30th August 2021, $65,000 is, and this is the period. It's so short. Like every 2-3 months you take loan and you're given this amount.
yes.
I'm not saying there's no money for this. You were violating the guidelines and the CEO as well for approving this loan, because the whole amount is 1 million plus, and
the balance is 675,000.
Still a lot.
Because we are recovering. Yes.
Yes, still a lot.
Yes.
So it was not proper. You would not give this kind of loan to any staff without them servicing their loan, their initial loan. You would not agree to that, because you know as Director of Finance that would not be proper. That would be wise. Is that not the case?
Yeah, I agree with your point. I got it wrong there. I didn't do what was right there. But again, looking at hindsight, today, after 2 years that I've spent there, and the third year, is the only investment portfolio that you can fall back on at Banjul City Council.
Which investment portfolio?
The loan portfolio that is contracted to staff. Today, every month, the management of Banjul City Council is recouping 400 to 500,000 to knock off the wage bill.
No, Mr.
Yeah, can I finish?
Go ahead.
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
So, looking in hindsight, today it is the only investment that you can look back and say, this is money waiting for Banjul City Council.
No, let's not try to be smart.
Yes.
Let's not try to be smart. That's not the issue here. You see, like I said, we all get it wrong sometimes.
Yes.
And what you have done is wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
It's as simple as that.
But
so
I agree.
when you agree,
yes,
and you now try to smooth.
No, I'm not smooth.
Around you spoil it.
No, I agreed.
Yes.
But I asked for permission that can I also elaborate?
No, I mean I do not deny that you can say things, you can express yourself. I'm just saying that when they are wrong, It's as simple as that.
No, but I agree that
whatever you say cannot justify why you will flout the rules to have 1 million plus in this manner without due process.
Okay.
That is the truth. You agree with that?
I concur.
Exactly. Now, Mr. Bachili, he has. Did he take any loan? Do you know?
Yes.
The councillors?
Yes, at some point, but before the loans they took, we tailored it to their last month of the last tenure of their election.
The mayoress?
No, she
did not.
No.
Do you have a list of all the individuals that took loan?
Yes.
Will you be able to help us with that list?
Yes, I've already forwarded you two documents. I'll give you the other ones.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, so much was also approved by the CEO, well, together with you as well, the Director of Finance. So many payments were done, but before that, we'll come to the SAP revenue collection outsourcing. What is SAP arrangement with? In fact, to start with, who is SAP in the first place?
Yes, SAP is a consultant. It's a revenue collection consultant, auditors, and HR managers.
HR, yes, go ahead.
Yes, that's the profile of what I know about the company.
Now, do you had a contract with SAP?
Yes, we do.
Please, can you tell us about that?
Yes, in February.
Yes.
In February 2021, we took the motion to General Council.
Yes.
And then we got a resolution to contract SAP to help in the collection of revenue that was not coming to council.
Yes.
Yes. So we have the General Council resolution on the on the 25th of February. We've got the General Council resolution empowering us to work with SAP and bring the revenue. Prior to that, in the same vein, there were a lot of resolutions passed on the finance department to bring the revenue to council. So I have.
May I please see that?
Yes, I have the resolutions.
We apply to tender General Council resolution of Banjul State Council 2021. The date is 25th of February 2021. In relation to the agreement with SAP Financial and Audit Advisory Services. And a council resolution of the 25th of February 2021 as well. Yes, to be admitted into evidence and marked as an exhibit.
The General Council meeting minutes dated the 25th of February 2021 is hereby admitted in evidence as exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/020.
As the Commission pleases. Yes, so how was SAP introduced to the area council?
Yes, SAP was introduced to the area council by my humble self as Director of Finance, and communicate to General Council that the revenue of council is not coming, and then based on the profile of the department that I have inherited, these revenues cannot be unlocked by the men that we have on the picket lines. So that led me to introduce to SAP that they can help us recover some of these revenues.
What is their experience in revenue collection?
Yeah, revenue collection, I think they've done a trial with KMC, and they've also gotten some contracts to chase.
Please increase your voice.
They've also gotten some contracts in the past to chase debts for businesses.
So you know SAPS before?
Yes, I know SAPS before.
And you introduced SAPS to council?
Yeah, I do.
And they signed a contract with council?
Yes, they do.
And what was the agreement about?
Yeah, the agreement was to bring revenue. The agreement was to help chase revenue that was not coming to council.
You signed an agreement with them?
Yes, we signed an agreement.
Do you have the agreement?
Yes,
We apply tender the
council. This is the complete. This is the complete one. Sorry.
to tender the consultancy extension agreement for collection of revenue on GRA database supplied to council. The agreement is between Banjul City Council and Mr. Ibrahim Sala,
Yes.
consultant, and SAP Financial and Audit Consultancy Services. Who is Ibrahim Sala?
He's the CEO
Of SAP.
of SAP. Yes.
What is your relationship with Ibrahim Sala?
Professional. Our relationship is professional.
For how long have you known Mr. Ibrahim Sala?
Since our days doing the ACCA. Yes.
Okay. To have it admitted to evidence and marked as an exhibit.
The consultancy extension agreement for collection of revenue on GRA database supplied to council. The agreement is signed by the CEO of Banjul City Council and Mr. Ibrahim Asala of SAP Financial and Audit Consultancy Services, being the consultant, and it is witnessed by Momodou Camara, Director of Finance. This document is admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/021.
As the commission places. Now, what process was followed in awarding SAPS this contract?
The process, it was introduced to General Council. The processes are, it was introduced to General Council.
Yes.
That as an incoming Director of Finance and looking at the revenue lines,
yes,
I am of the conviction that the revenue is not coming.
Yes.
And then prior to that, prior to taking this motion to council,
yes,
the first 2 weeks I dedicated time to knowing my staff,
yes,
and trying to go into their personal files to see who is who.
No, what process was followed in signing this contract with SAP?
Yes, we got to General Council.
Yes.
When we got the approval and the resolution.
Yes.
He was invited. He was invited to council. Then he came and we negotiated the work.
He was awarded the contract.
Yes.
So no procurement process was followed.
No.
Why?
It was a trial, because if you look at what Madam Chair or what you have read earlier on its extension, there is the trial. The trial is the first contract is underneath.
Did you give the trial to other competitors as well?
Yeah, we've always been trying to give trials to other companies.
No.
I think we also, because the trials as per GPPA, with the research that we've done, trials, you don't advertise the trials, or you don't throw it to the public.
Mr. Camara,
yes.
Are you familiar with GPPA rules and regulations?
Yeah, a little bit. Yes, a little bit.
You should be, as Director of Finance, you should be very familiar with
yes.
GPPA regulations.
Yes.
You have not followed GPPA regulations.
Yes, that's what I said. I said trials.
You did not follow GPPA regulations, did you?
No.
Okay. You should have followed GPPA regulations.
Okay.
No, it's either a yes or a no. Either you agree or you disagree.
Yeah, I agree.
And by not following GPPA regulation, it can be, one can assume that you tracked two SAPs. The CEO is involved, and whosoever is involved. So you should have followed GPPA regulations.
That's true.
Is there any reason why that was not the case?
No, the only reason that I can advance is looking at the time, we just wanted to.
Please increase your voice.
I said, looking at the time, we just wanted to make an impact and then bring a lot of revenue to council.
Yes. You had Dandemayo Chambers.
Yes.
They asked that you pay 19%. You agreed to pay 19%. Right? And as far as you're concerned, we haven't seen evidence of that yet. That you were recovered about $6 million is for one recovery process with Nawek.
Yes.
Now you have SAPS.
Yes.
What is the difference between Dandemayo and SAPS?
Yeah, the difference is Dandemayo was gonna get us recover those debts from rates.
Yes.
Recovery of debts and areas.
Right.
With SAPS, he has to start from ground zero. Mobilize his data, put his personnel, go after businesses, and cover revenues and businesses that we are not paying to council.
That's what Dandemayo will do.
No, Dandemayo was debt recovery.
Dandemayo was?
Debt recovery.
And this was what?
SAP was even bringing out new businesses.
Let me read what the obligations.
What they?
Let me read the obligations. The obligations
Yes.
says for the amount, the B.C.C will pay Mr. Ibrahim Sala of SAP's Financial the sum of 1.5% of the total revenue collected as running cost. B.C.C will keep 70% of the total revenue collected with Mr. Sala. Will keep 30%. So Mr. Sala is keeping 31.5%.
Yes.
Altogether.
Yes.
Mr. Sala of SAP's Financial and Audit Consultancy Services might be entitled to other benefits if and when the need arises. So vague language.
Yes.
Responsibilities of Ibrahim Sala of SAP's Financial and Audit Consultancies. 1, to collect all revenue dues to council from the GRA database.
Yes.
Collect all lost revenue due to council from areas not covered by the council staff over the last 10 years. Advise council on areas where hidden revenue for council is laying. Work with council staff to collect revenue where necessary, and report the Director of Finance for all issues leading. Report to Director of Finance for all issues leading to this consultancy, and all other duties as assigned by the Director of Finance. Have you assigned work to SAPs?
Assign what work?
The contract says you can assign them.
Yes.
Did you do that?
No, we've not gotten to that point.
You have not gotten to that point.
No.
Did they provide you with a survey or a study of all the hidden revenues?
Yes, they did a good job.
No,
And, yeah,
not a good job.
Yeah, they did a good job.
The question is, if you listen to the question,
Yes.
you will hear
Yes.
and understand the question, and you can be in a position to answer. The question is not whether they did a good job. It's whether they provided you with a report of the hidden revenues that you could not collect.
Yes.
And you even didn't know about. That's why it's hidden.
Yes.
You have a report of that.
Yes.
A report.
Yes, because I tendered it yesterday. It's embedded in the report that they've submitted. Yesterday I tendered it as an exhibit.
So if you can see, Mr. Camara, it appears you'll be here tomorrow again for maybe just for the morning part.
No, just wait. What I'm telling you is yesterday I gave you an exhibit on their report. In the report that
I would not know on top of my head the exhibit number.
Yeah, if you
unless you know the.
Yeah, if you just give me a listening, I will. So the exhibit that I gave yesterday, in that report is embedded those hidden revenue, and I will just take you through the report that I gave you. My statement. There is one line. There's one line.
Right.
If you look at it, GPA.
Right.
Ferry jetty for 10 years. SAP is gone. They've gone 2023. They're not here. But they've left us with a 250,000 that we will collect for posterity. And GPF existed since then up to SAP came. B.C.C could have never. B.C.C have never gone to get that revenue from them because they were seeing the jetty and it was not being invoiced. GPA.
What is GPA?
Gambia Ports Authority.
You don't know, is that a hidden revenue?
Yes. The jetty. The jetty.
Okay.
The jetty is hidden revenue because prior to me coming or SAPs coming to do the assignment, B.C.C were not collecting the jetty.
Why?
Capacity.
What kind of capacity?
GPA, Gambia Ports Authority, should be paying the jetty. Since GPA, for 40 years, 50 years, they've never paid the jetty. It was the consultant who went and unlocked that this is supposed to be paid yearly to City Council.
What is jetty?
Jetty is a fish landing.
Yes?
A fish landing terminal.
Fish landing?
Yes. Boat landing or...
For the boat?
Yes, for the boats.
These fishermen?
Yes.
How is that a hidden revenue?
Or ships. It's hidden revenue because the revenue was supposed to be coming from there every year.
It's arrears. It's not hidden revenue. It's arrears. It's not hidden
No,
revenue.
it is not arrears because it has never been invoiced.
So it's arrears. Maybe it has never been invoiced for whatever reason, but they know they have to pay. My point is, how is it hidden?
Hidden because we don't know. If we have oil in the Gambia and it's not mine, it's hidden.
No. You know, there should be a study. Then you know there's oil. There should be experts to find out, do what they have to do to know whether Gambia has oil or not.
Yes.
Don't compare apples with
No.
oranges. Hear me out. Don't do that comparison. Everybody knows the jetty you're talking about. Everybody knows that. Everyone knows that they are fishermen, that they are boats that will dock. Everyone knows that. So if you are responsible for tax collection, B.C.C. Did I say it right? By mistake, yes. B.C.C.
Yes.
I said C.C.C.
Yes, that's okay.
I cannot add another C to B.C.C. That would be terrible. But the issue is, you know what to collect. You have the Act.
Yes.
The Act guides you as to
Yes.
what areas should collect when it comes to licensing or whatsoever.
Yes.
And then it's a small island.
Yes.
Everybody knows that Gambia, people do fish. And ports, we know this not hidden information. So why is it a hidden revenue? I don't understand that.
GPA, if you allow me to help you, GPA pays to Banjul City Council every year. They pay a lot of components.
Right.
But part of the many components that they've got, this component was not being invoiced to them.
See, subs have no adequate, sufficient, long-term experience in tax collection. That is a fact.
Yes.
That is a fact.
Yes.
They are not really the be-all and the end-all in tax collection.
Yes.
They are not.
Yes.
They did not tell you what you could not know.
Yes. But
you see, we are not supposed to create jobs for people and just pay them money. You have a finance department, you have a structure. The idea is there is inefficiency.
yes.
And so because of that inefficiency and that corruption, everybody comes and take their share of the cake. That's the reality. But it's not you are hiring a consultant for a work that you cannot do.
Yeah, but
What your friend can do, you guys study together.
Yes.
What your friend can do,
yes.
you can do. You studied the same courses. But what I mean by that is, it is not ingenious to know that those jetties should pay, that there's another component that they should pay. It's not ingenious from subside.
Yes.
That is true.
Yes. Council.
Yes.
If you are building or you are developing, based on the database that they've left with us and that report, council should soldier forward, taking the information that has reached to them. Because this consultant is not continuing. You were brought in to do a task. You've accomplished that, and here's the database. We can only use the database.
How much were they paid? You have, for instance, even in your statement, you have stated it regarding subs. Where it said on the issue of subs, B.C.C signed 1-year contract with subs for 2021, and at the sum of $2,250,000 is to collect revenue for council. Sub company successfully collected over $1 million for council in 2020.
11 million, over 11 million.
So there should be over 11 million for 2020.
Yes.
And phased out at the end of the year.
Exactly.
So, and from that 11 million, that was when you paid 2.5 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Or thereabout.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Was another company offering less than this? Is it possible?
Yeah, as you alluded earlier on, if at all we've thrown it to the public, we might have gotten. You might have saved $1 million here. Yes.
May possibly.
Yes.
So it says in the report, the total amount received from invoices sent is $11,511,940.13. And the balance outstanding $39,502,603.
Yes.
And B.C.C, yes. So this 11 million is where they have the 2%.
Yeah, exactly.
It says, let me read to you what SUB says. The draft B.C.C. recovery report for the period 1st March to 31st of December 2021, that we have completed the consultancy for the period 1st of March 2021 to 31st of December 2021, hereby filed in draft report for your consideration, adoption, and retention. The object of this contract agreement was as a result of council resolution to boost the revenue of B.C.C. and so on and so forth. The methodology, SAP's approach was to identify individual, businesses, and other owing to B.C.C. Establish amount due and invoices drawn for customers. Follow up for payment. Inform B.C.C. cashiers to collect payments and bank. Ensure payments. Nothing here is unique. You see, sometimes you look at this, you are really even confused as to how people are paid millions without offering any services that are unique in nature. You know why I say this? For you to get a consultancy, for you to get a service given to somebody else, one of the factors would have been that you can't do it yourself.
Yes.
You can't do it yourself. So what they are stating here is very simple thing. That's every single day what you are supposed to do on a daily basis. It says the total invoice sent for payment, invoices received from B.C.C. Director of Finance were signed for the process to easily follow without delay. Individual businesses and government parastatals, both nationals and non-nationals who complied to paying council tax more than the indigenous. The non-compliance is more on national businesses, both private and public, and other influences from the B.C.C. system of collection and invoicing, which will continue if not halted, creating revenue gaps. You see? You know what they were doing? Exactly what you were doing. You send your invoice and then they wait. If no payment is done, they can't do nothing about it. If payment is done, then they send you the payment. Payment is made to B.C.C. and they have their 31.5%. What an easy way of making millions.
No, but that's not. I think it's only fitting to tell you that they were not sitting. They were going from street to street, going
exactly
from business to business.
What you are to do.
Yes.
Going from street to street. Exactly what the revenue collectors are supposed to do. Yes. What the finance department is supposed to do. Going street to street. That's what the law says.
Yes. But again, having the impetus and having the training and the experience to be able to decorticate some of the revenue that they have uncovered.
Forget the big words. Forget the big words. That's the training you have.
Yeah, but I'm not a revenue collector.
Everyone, you are the principal revenue collector.
Yes.
You are the chief revenue collector
Yes.
of council.
Yes. Revenue collector in the sense that I do not go to the field.
You do. You can go to the field.
Yes, you can go to.
You yourself had told the commission
Yes.
that for the big the corporations, you were the one who was handling that.
Yes.
You are the biggest revenue collector in council. The finance director is the principal revenue collector in council.
Yes.
So, SAP is offering a service that you can do
Yes.
with your team. What I mean you is any finance director should be able to do with your team. They are not bringing anything new on the table. They cannot have $2 million. You know what they did? They invoiced, you signed invoices amounting to $57,241,587 products. That's what you signed for. You know what they can recover out of this? $11,511,940. Not even close to 50%. And they walk away with 31.5% of it. For just issuing invoices that you signed. Giving it to the corporate businesses. The same thing you guys were doing.
Yes.
To even hire, not because I'm a lawyer, to even hire Dante Mayo, with respect to all the flouting of the rules, would have been much easier and better. Because they may, if they are doing it right, or any law firm, they would have been going to court. Hopefully, if you have it right with your procedures of procurement. But SAPs cannot do anything if these people fail to pay. Is that not true?
No, what they can do is, now we've gotten the report. We act on the report to follow.
You have had this report. You just did not document it. You know who owes you and who did not owe you. You just don't document it. The same way you had outlined the issues with Momodou and Makumba Sane, with the same way you realize that the QCell was underpaying, they were being under invoiced.
Yes.
It's not rocket science.
Yes, for me it was a start, and then if we build on that, we will perfect it, and then it's not a contract that was renewable every year.
No.
Yes.
You see, Mr. Camara, there's no excuse for wasting of public funds. No excuse. No really excuse for wasting public funds like this. And you can't help it but to say is giving a friend, trying to do all you can to just give a friend for a contract that you can do yourself. It's not something that you cannot do, that council cannot embark on. People are paid for this from taxpayers' money. That 2 million plus that you have been paying SAPs can go somewhere else.
Yes.
Can do a lot of project. And you will agree with me. No wonder we always keep on saying capacity, capacity, capacity. Capacity of what? What do you mean by capacity? A small island like Banjul? Like Banjul? You can't even control the revenue in Banjul. Mr. Camara, I mean B.C.C, you can't control the revenue in Banjul to know how much you are to collect.
Yeah, we've started to.
You've had assessment before?
Yes.
Revenue assessment before?
No, we were supposed to do it in
Did you
2020,
do revenue
2024.
assessment?
Yes.
Did you do revenue assessment?
I said we were supposed to start it 2024.
No, but you still didn't answer my question.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
Exactly.
We did.
Before the extension, there was a contract in 2021 on 1st March. The responsibilities of Ibrahim Sala, is it Ibrahim Sal?
Yeah, Sala.
Sal of SAP are the following: collect and all revenue due to council from GRA database, collect all lost revenue, advise council on the areas where hidden revenues for collection is laying, work with council staff to collect revenue where necessary. You say this?
Yes.
So they're even using council staff
Yes.
to collect revenue. And if I ask you, you will tell me it's for pointers.
No.
Right?
Yes. For council staff, it's like they don't.
Part says they should work with council staff to
Yes.
collect revenue
Yes.
where necessary.
Yes.
What is the relevance of the council staff?
To go and get the money.
To point.
Yeah. To take
To
the
point.
money. Yes.
Pointers. Right?
Pardon?
Pointers. To be as pointers.
Yes, for the cash, because once there is a willing vendor to pay, they will call the cashier to come
So
and.
SAPs only work with a willing vendor.
No.
Of course.
No.
They can't work with a vendor that's not willing to pay.
No, but paying is mandatory.
Can SAPs force them?
Legally, they have to recommend to us to enforce.
Can SAPs force them to pay?
No, they cannot force them to
You
pay.
see? So it's willing. That's why you carefully use the word willing. So they can only go and talk to a vendor who wants to pay, who's willing to pay. If the vendor says, I am not paying, they cannot do anything about it.
Yes.
The institution that can do something about it is Banjul City Council. They are the ones that can take you to court, that can get you prosecuted, that can get you summoned. They are the ones that can do that and have penalties for these things, not SAPs. So let's not be giving free money anyhow, Mr. Camara. We should not encourage that.
Yes.
For some of the efforts you have done, it's a bit disheartening to see that you have really relaxed. I will not say, maybe relaxed is even, in fact, a fair word, much more relaxed as the word seems to you. Maybe because I was a bit impressed regarding what you were doing.
Yeah, but if you look at, for instance, if you look at the database, and again you look at what they've done.
They have not done anything. That's the reality. Let's not try to paint the picture that doesn't exist.
No.
They have an invoice of $57 million plus.
Yes.
They only recovered $11 million. What database are you talking about?
Yeah, if you look at it, when they left, and we inherited the ruins.
You inherited?
We inherited what they've done. They've report and where the vendors are and all that. We still not able to.
Mr. Camara, I think I have to proceed with other issues because, like I told you, the difference between you, B.C.C. and SAPs is that they put something. They document something. They tried to document what you already know. They just put it in few pages. Things you already know is what they document.
Yes.
And then they give it back to you and you pay them $2 million plus. That's the only thing we have seen here. And so again, there's a last issue where I want us to discuss for the main part of our discussion is in relation to so many payments that were by way of, I think, interest that were given to the Lord Mayors, the Mayors of Banjul, Katin Ture as well. And we have had evidences from witnesses who will say that they will hold this money in cash. Fatum Benga, the PRO, and the mayors will determine how much is paid or given to whosoever is to be given to. But I'm not sure whether we have time.
I just want to, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Ecotech is also one of the parties that was contracted to collect revenue. Is that correct?
Yes. We have.
And the percentage sharing was also 37.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And how much was the initial payment to Ecotech?
Yeah, Ecotech, we did all the meetings and.
How much was the initial payment to Ecotech?
No, we never paid them. They never started.
Yes, I just wanted.
They never did any work.
You never paid Ecotech?
No, once we agreed, and they were supposed to come and start, they had some internal issues and the company wind up, so they never worked for B.C.C. But after that, we also had another digital company that came, Innoco, INNOCO. Presently, they are at Banjul City Council. But up to the time that I left, they are doing the work, but I have not paid them anything yet. So I don't know how far they are with.
All right,
Thank you.
Proceed.
Yes, so impressed. How was it handled at council?
Yes, the impressed when I came in 2021, I looked at the audit reports, and it has featured heavily in all the past audit reports.
Right.
So what I did internally was to mitigate it by not giving impress. So during my tenure, apart from one or two impress in 2 years that I give to the Director of Planning and Development, Mr. Katim Ture.
Yes.
All other impress is only Mayor who took impress. Staff, I've not given any staff any impress.
Why before that?
Before?
No, I already said something. I said I will. Let me just start with the issue of having an impress ledger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a requirement?
Yes, it's a requirement.
Do you meet up with that requirement?
No.
Why?
Yeah, because I think the whole of, when I came, I discouraged the idea of impress.
Okay.
I discouraged the idea of impress because it was heavily noted.
Abused.
Yes, it was heavily noted in the external audit reports.
Right.
And I think that's one of the issues that was my first flashpoint with the Director of Planning. I said,
yes,
your name is all over this impress. They're not retired and all that. So I will not be in position to give you further impress.
Yes.
So moving forward, Mayor benefited from a lot of impress, and I think we should have kept a ledger, an impress ledger.
He should have.
We should.
You should
have kept an impress ledger.
Yes.
But I didn't because I didn't find one. So I needed to create.
You did not find one?
I didn't find any impress ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I needed to create one.
Why was it not created?
Yeah, because all things cannot happen at once, because I was also settling down to also get a lot of things that are supposed to be sorted.
No, but the first impress that you will have that was approved, then immediately there had to be a letter.
Yes, I agree.
The first. Otherwise, we wait. Everybody waits until we have the correct system, and then we move on.
That's true.
That's the.
I should have kept an impress ledger. I didn't find one. I should have created, but I got it wrong on that one.
Now, how were impressed applied for and approved? What was the process, since there was no impressed ledger? Now you tell us, what was the process on the ground?
The process is the PRO to mayor.
Yes.
That was prior to Fatou. It was Momodou Lamin Ba.
Okay.
Or Fatou, lately Fatou Mbenga will put up a request to the CEO.
Yes.
And CEO will approve, and we will pay.
And is it usual to pay the Lord Mayor impressed?
Is it
usual? Is it normal for the Lord Mayor to be having cash all the time?
Yes. If you look at the
You said yes.
Yes. If you look at the rules governing impress,
Yes.
it has not said we should not, or she shouldn't have an impress. She shouldn't be given an impress.
Right.
But again, you could also, for prudent financial management,
Right.
limit the impress that you take, or after every voyage.
Yes.
If you are back, you need to retire the impress and move forward.
Do you know what an impress is?
Yes.
I know you know.
Yes.
But I'm just asking, do you know what an impress is?
Yes, I do.
What is an impress?
An impress is an allocation of cash
Yes.
that a traveler is accorded.
A traveler?
Yeah, a traveler or somebody that is in a position to meet our.
A traveler?
Yes, a traveler, like if Mayor is traveling to Miami.
Yes.
She should keep an impress in case you get to the airport and you need to spend some cash to get a cab to take you to your hotel and stuff like that. And if you are also,
Mayor will have a per diem.
Yes, you have a per diem
to cover all this.
Yes, but again, in that
where is the impress coming in?
Yes, where the impress is coming in, the per diem is for allocation on standard terms.
Yes.
But where the impress comes, when you get to the meeting hall, for instance, and you see a group of mayors or another mayor from India, and you want to have a side meeting after in the evening after close of the seminar.
Yes.
Once you go to a bar and a restaurant, the drinks that are served to you and all that, the impress should be able to.
Will they give you receipts for
yes
drinks from the bar and restaurant?
Yes, this has been my experience at Birkama.
They will give you receipts?
Yes, they will give you receipts.
Mayors will bring receipts from the bar and restaurant?
Should bring receipts from the bar and restaurant.
Bring receipts.
Yes.
Let me read you what an impress is. That is not the purpose, the main purpose of impress.
Mm-hmm.
These are emergency expenditures.
Yes.
That should be the entire idea of an impress, the emergency expenditures, for which you cannot follow the usual process. Because remember, you and the CEO, you are to authorize payment.
Yes.
Make sure, and there are categories of payments as far as the manual is concerned.
Yes.
Different type of payments, different procedures. Generally the same procedure, but at least it is spelled out. Whether it is small works, whether it is allowances, whether it is loans, whether it is salaries, whether it is contracts, is there.
Yes.
Right? And for impress, there will always be a period or time that expenditure would probably fall within the emergency bracket. Is that not the case?
Yes.
And so the law must factor in those periods where you will need to do expenditure. It says that if it is necessary for any officer of the council to have money at his or her disposal for disbursement on public service, for which the usual pre-authorization procedure cannot apply, such officer may be given an imprest.
Yes.
that which you are paying $1 for must be for the public service. You saying the mayor goes to in the U.S. decides to go to the bar and restaurant is not factored in the true meaning of an impress. That's not factored in. That's
yes,
different.
but
these are different altogether.
yeah, the practice is once they go, because for me,
As a per diem,
yes, for me,
the mayor's accommodation is taken care of.
yes, for me, mayor's travels with the impress that she goes with. When she comes, she has never retired to me.
No, we will come to all that.
Yes, so
we just have to understand that what we are given, in fact, for most of the impress we are talking about, is not even for travel. We are talking about evidence that we have received that people were given donations of every kind, monies anyhow for various reasons. The mayor will be in her office, the PRO will be outside the office, and then she will just come out and tell the PRO, give X, Y, Z, $50,000 or $25,000, whatever the amount is. Totally misusing, abusing public funds. 100%. No doubt about that. 100%. Nobody can say otherwise.
yeah,
Nobody. No one can say otherwise. You understand that?
yes,
But just to clear what you are saying regarding the travel, that is not factored.
Yeah.
That is not what the law on impress is saying. It is saying all impress must be authorized by the chief executive officer, who will prescribe the terms and conditions under which impress may be approved. And you have the procedure. We talked about impress ledger. I will not get into that because you already said that there were no impress ledger. There's no procedure for impress, right?
yes,
And it even says that once you issue an impress and approve an impress, if it is not retired, another one should not be given.
that's true.
You understand that?
That's true.
Yes.
Yes.
But you have ACCA.
Yes,
Why were you allowing things to happen when you knew it was totally wrong?
yes. For the staff, as I said, I even closed the door for impress for the staff.
Yes.
And for the director of planning,
Right.
who has been mentioned in so many of the past
Right.
audit reports,
Right.
I also closed the door on him. I say, I will not give you impress until you retire what I have inherited.
Right.
And then the rest
It's history.
is history.
Now the mayors.
The mayoress is out of space for me, because Bachili will approve these things and put them and pass it to me to pay. So, and then I alone cannot be fighting every day to perfect, because there's a CEO.
I agree.
Yes. So, and then again, it has. I've run into a lot of trouble trying to stand in
I'll be
people's
fair
way.
with you, Mr.
Yes,
Camara.
yes,
The law
yes.
puts the much of the burden,
Yes.
if not most of it, in relation to approving for impress on the CEO.
Yes.
And even though there was supposed to be monitoring in relation to retirement, which you've admitted to,
Yes.
but then the CEO approves impress.
Yes.
And so, for instance, we have this even on the special report. Audit. Sorry. Yes.
Council, I believe it's a convenient point. We will continue tomorrow. Mr.
Thank you,
Camara,
Chair.
Yes,
thank
ma.
you so much.
Thank you, ma.
We will
Thank you.
rise.
Thank you, ma. Thank you.